Imagine yourself transporting back through the annals of time, where crowns gleamed and power was absolute. Yet, even in the grandest royal courts, fate had a peculiar way of dealing its hand, sometimes leading to exits that were less than majestic and often surprisingly bizarre. Prepare to delve into tales of kings and princes whose final moments were, well, anything but dignified. The unfortunate pilot, Prince William of Gloucester, died 1972. Picture a modern royal, not on a gilded throne, but in the cockpit of an airplane soaring through the sky. That was Prince William, a cousin to Queen Elizabeth II, who loved the thrill of flying. It was August 28, 1972, and he was competing in an air race. Suddenly, his plane, a Piper Cherokee, made an erratic move right after takeoff, spiraling out of control before crashing to the ground. His adventurous spirit led to his demise, making him one of the few contemporary royals to perish while pursuing his own passions. The toilet tragedy. Duke Jing of Jin died 581 BCE. Now journey to ancient China to the reign of Duke Jing. He was a man of sudden impulses. One day, a shaman predicted he wouldn't live to taste the next wheat harvest. The Duke, defiant, did eat the new wheat, and in a fit of pique, had the shaman executed. Yet shortly after, feeling unwell, he went to the lavatory. His attendants later discovered him in a truly undignified position, upside down in the toilet, having succumbed to fatal injuries. A truly bizarre end, forever etched in Chinese history. The Tile and the Soldier, Pyrrhus of Epirus, died 272 BCE. Envision a formidable Greek general, King Pyrrhus, whose victories were so costly they gave us the phrase Pyrrhic victory. In 272 BCE, during a chaotic civil uprising in Argos, he found himself in a street brawl. An elderly woman, whose son was fighting nearby, seized a roof tile and hurled it at the king. The tile struck him, knocking him from his horse and leaving him paralyzed. As he lay helpless, a passing soldier delivered the final, fatal blow, ending the life of a great military mind in a remarkably inglorious manner. The Elixir of Doom. Qin Shi Huang died 210 BCE. Travel back to the era of unified China, ruled by Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. His greatest obsession wasn't power or conquest, but immortality. After a meteor seemed to prophesy his death, his desire to live forever intensified. He turned to his court alchemists, who concocted an elixir of immortality, a potion brimming with mercury. Believing it would grant him eternal life, he dutifully consumed it. Instead, the mercury poisoned him, bringing his reign to an end at the age of 49. The rage-induced demise. Valentinian I died 375 AD. Picture the formidable Emperor Valentinian I, a strong military leader of the Western Roman Empire. In 375 AD, he was deep in negotiations with diplomats from the Quadi tribe. He demanded an explanation for their attacks on Roman troops, and when they couldn't provide a satisfactory answer, Valentinian I reportedly erupted in a volcanic fit of rage, screaming, and cursing. The sheer intensity of his fury proved too much for his heart, and he suffered a fatal stroke on the spot. The buck-toothed revenge. Sigurd Eysteinsson died 9th century. Imagine Sigurd the Mighty, Jarl of Orkney, a fierce Viking warrior. After a triumphant battle against a chieftain named Maelbrigt, known for his protruding teeth, Sigurd, in a gruesome display of dominance, tied his defeated foe's severed head to his saddle. As he rode, Maelbrigt's prominent tooth scratched Sigurd's leg. What seemed like a minor injury soon turned deadly. The wound festered, leading to a severe infection and ultimately sepsis, a condition untreatable in his time. The chieftain's tooth had, in a way, exacted its revenge from beyond the grave. The collapsing throne. Bela I of Hungary died 1063. Step into the royal manor of Bela I, King of Hungary. In 1063, while attending to his duties, he simply sat down on his throne. But this was no ordinary seat. It was apparently old and unstable. The throne suddenly gave way beneath him, causing him to fall and suffer grave injuries. Though he survived the initial impact, his condition worsened during transportation for medical care, and he ultimately succumbed to his wounds. The saddle's cruel kiss. William the Conqueror died 1087. Envision William, the Duke of Normandy who became King of England after his famous conquest. In September 1087, during a military campaign in France, he fell from his horse. The impact was brutal, and the pommel, the front part of the saddle, impaled him, causing a severe internal injury. This sensitive wound ultimately led to his death, a conqueror brought down by a saddle. The Arrow in the Forest. William II of England died 1100. Now imagine King William II, son of the Conqueror, on a hunting expedition in the New Forest on August 2, 1100. It was a day meant for sport, but it ended in tragedy. An arrow, possibly shot by a nobleman named Walter Tile, struck the king squarely in the lung, killing him swiftly. The circumstances of his death, shrouded in an air of suspicion, have fueled speculation that it might not have been a mere accident. The Lamprey Indulgence. Henry I of England died 1135. Consider Henry I, another son of William the Conqueror. After a long day of hunting in 1135, and despite warnings from his physician, King Henry decided to indulge in an excessive amount of his favorite delicacy, lampreys, a type of primitive, jawless fish. His gluttony proved fatal. He fell gravely ill shortly after his feast and passed away, a victim of his own culinary preferences. The White Ship Disaster. William Adelin died 1120. Picture William Adelin, the sole legitimate son and heir of King Henry I, poised to inherit the English throne. On November 25, 1120, he boarded the White Ship, eager to sail across the English Channel. Disaster struck when the ship collided with a hidden rock, beginning to sink. William initially had a chance to escape, but his loyalty and love for his half-sister prompted him to turn back to rescue her. In the ensuing panic, the small rescue boat they boarded capsized, and William, along with many others, drowned. His untimely death plunged England into a devastating civil war known as the Anarchy. The Midnight Ride. Alexander III of Scotland died 1286. Imagine King Alexander III of Scotland, a ruler who secured his nation's future by adding the Isle of Man and Western Isles to its territory. On a stormy night, March 19, 1286, despite his advisors' pleas to wait, he insisted on riding to meet his queen. His body was later discovered on the shore, his neck broken. It's believed his horse threw him during the treacherous journey. With no surviving children, his death abruptly ended Scotland's golden age. The Fiery Cure. Charles II of Navarre died 1387. Step into the chamber of Charles II of Navarre, infamously known as Charles the Bad. In 1387, in failing health, his physician proposed a rather unusual treatment, wrapping the king from head to toe in cloths soaked in brandy. During this bizarre procedure, an attendant accidentally brought a candle too close to the brandy-soaked fabric, causing it to ignite. The king was tragically burned alive, a truly horrific end for a controversial ruler. The Exploding Cannon. James II of Scotland died 1460. Envision James II of Scotland, a king who ascended the throne at the tender age of 6 and was known for his hands-on approach to warfare, even modernizing his country's military. In 1460, during a siege of an English-held castle, he stood too close to a cannon. The artillery piece, for reasons unknown, discharged prematurely, striking him with an exploding shell and ending his life instantly. A king of war, slain by his own instrument of conflict. The Bathroom Collapse. George II of Great Britain died 1760. Picture King George II of Great Britain, who oversaw a period of significant imperial expansion. In October 1760, at an advanced age, he enjoyed a cup of hot chocolate. Shortly after, he retired to the bathroom. A few minutes later, a thud was heard. When attendants investigated, they found the king collapsed. He passed away before any physician could reach him, with a presumed stroke being the cause. The Overindulgent King. Adolf Frederick of Sweden died 1771. Imagine Adolf Frederick, the King of Sweden, perceived by many as a weak monarch appointed by Parliament. In 1771, defying his doctor's advice, he embarked on an epic feast. He consumed a gargantuan meal that included lobster, caviar, various fish, champagne, pastries, and even hot milk. This massive indulgence proved too much for his system. He fell ill and died, most likely from heart failure, earning him the posthumous title of the king who ate himself to death. The monkey's bite. Alexander of Greece died 1920. Finally, visualize King Alexander of Greece, a symbolic monarch during the tumultuous aftermath of World War I. In 1920, while taking a leisurely stroll on the royal estate, his German shepherd became embroiled in a fight with a domesticated monkey. Alexander intervened to separate them, and in the chaos, the monkey bit him. The bite, seemingly minor at first, became severely infected, leading to sepsis. Despite urgent calls for amputation, no doctor dared to make such a drastic decision, and the king died a few weeks later. A truly unexpected end for a king, brought down by a primate's bite. These tales remind us that even those draped in purple robes and wielding immense power were ultimately subject to the unpredictable whims of fate, sometimes meeting their end in ways that were far from the dignified exit one might expect of royalty. Which of these royal demises did you find most surprising or peculiar?